My name is Scott Gallagher. I'm here for an excellent webinar. Today's webinar is going to be for small and local businesses on how to achieve top ranking results in Google without the paid results or the organic results. But before we get started, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself and exactly who I am, and you can decide whether or not you want to listen to me as we go through this presentation. My name is Scott Gallagher, and I live in Crystal Lake, Illinois. I'm originally from Canada, but I'm a father, entrepreneur, and author. And you can see a picture of me and my son there on, that was a family reunion. I'm a good Irish family. And I love snowboarding or sports that bring a lot of different adrenaline. Wintertime is actually one of my favorite seasons. I do a lot of snowmobiling and snowboarding and skiing as well. And then summertime, definitely enjoy it up in Canada, up in the camp. But in 2000, I graduated with a Bachelor of Commerce, a specialty in marketing. And in 2005 is when I moved to the United States from Canada. And at that time is when I founded my local internet marketing agency called One Marketing, WON marketing.com. And now we service over quite a few hundred different clients throughout the United States and Canada. In 2009, I founded a company called Naparex, National Parcel Express. I'm a partner in that business, and we provide and deliver packages throughout the United States on a same-day delivery aspect. Typically, most of the business is found through the internet. At the same time, I was writing on my personal blog, and a lot of people in 2009 were very interested in learning about the strategies that I've been deploying for small and medium businesses and get them found on Google, and founded Local Marketing Source. And at Local Marketing Source, I teach this service to other agencies across the country as well as small business owners. And we've got a back-end portal and a membership program and a variety of different things. And it's called the Accelerated Program for Local Online Marketers. Got over 100 videos on there and whatnot. And I also do a lot of different speaking. I really enjoy speaking, and I speak at a variety of different events in the internet marketing industry. Some of the bigger names include StomperNet and Marketers Brain Trust that I've been at. So you may have had an opportunity to meet me there. But nonetheless, what today and what we're here for today is we're going to learn about all the fundamentals that a small business needs to do in order to rank on the organic results. And you can see that image there. Everything that's in yellow is all the paid results when a search is done. The local results is everything that's in the pink section, the local maps, as well as the blue section, which is called organic. So when I talk about local rankings, it's going to be in the pink section. When I talk about organic, it's going to be in the blue section. And local is defined by having that little red push pin that you can see. And within the local side of it, you manage that through Google Places inside of Google. And so we're going to learn about the three different pillars of local search. These are the three fundamentals that are very important for you to build out for your local business in order to rank. We're going to talk about profiles, citations, and reviews, some of the factors that are involved. We call them ranking factors. And then different places where you can go and get these citations that I'm talking about after we define what a citation is, and different strategies on how to acquire them. And then finally, reviews. Well, the best form of marketing that has ever existed for your business is definitely word of mouth advertising. And reviews are ultimately a form of word of mouth advertising. And so we're going to talk about different strategies that are going to help you acquire reviews on a regular basis to help your business online. And of course, some of the factors that are involved in that. I just want to do a quick little sound check here, guys. Could somebody that's on the line just type into the question box to make sure that you can hear me properly and that there's no problems? Last week we had GoToWebinar that crapped out on us. It was a big network-wide spread problem over at GoToWebinar. And I just want to ensure that everybody is hearing me and getting this information. All right, well, we got quite a few people here jumping online. Thanks, Richard and Stephanie and Rick and Ken and Ginny, Wentley, Bill, Mike. You guys can all hear me, so I got to assume that everybody else on the line can also hear me. But thanks, guys. All right, let me close this back off. You got to excuse me a little bit. I'm dealing with a little bit of a cold, but it doesn't slow me down. So before we get started in some of this, uh, anything you've got two resources at your disposal as an entrepreneur, and I know firsthand being an entrepreneur that it's a matter of time and money, and that's kind of like a scale or a balance, and we could spend one or the other or both to build our business. If you're spending time, I mean, I say this is going to be free to get free results. It's not free. Nothing comes free, let's face it. But you're going to have to spend time in order to get exposure on the internet to get these results. And so if you're going to be spending time and or money, there's certain things that you've got to measure to determine whether or not your time is effective. And I just want to go over a couple of the things here that are relevant for you to measure. And when I talk about rankings, for example, if you're a chiropractor, people go to the search engines and search for keywords. We call them keywords or key phrases. They're one of the same. And so a keyword for a chiropractor is going to have different components to it. Their top keyword is going to be chiropractor in city. So chiropractor in Chicago. And the term chiropractor is your core term. It's the part of the keyword that's your core term. Chicago is your geographical modifier, or your geomod. And then we have a third component of a keyword that I'm not going to get into great detail, but it's called your core modifier. So in the case of a chiropractor, that may be, pediatric chiropractor in Chicago. Now, with your top keywords, you're going to want to measure the rankings for that. Where do you lie? Number 1, 2, 3. And if you're not in the top 3, you're not going to get traffic. You're not going to get a return on investment. The fact of the matter is the top 3 spots take up 40% of the click-through rate. Excuse me, let me take that back. It's not 40%, it's 70%. The number 1 spot takes up 40% of the clicks. The number 2 spot takes up 25% of the clicks. And the number 3 spot takes up 15%. So 40 and 25 is 65, and 15 is 80%. The remaining spots, number 4, it jumps down to about a 5% click-through rate and just goes down from there. But the point is you've got to be in the top 3 spots. So you want to measure your rankings. And on the back end, once you measure your rankings, you want to measure the traffic that comes to your website. Is there an increase in traffic over time? The fact of the matter is you could rank your and measure your performance based off of specific keywords as well. Citations are something we're going to talk about. That's one of the big cores of ranking, and you want to measure where you got those citations. And then at the end of the day, of course, sales. That's why we're in business, is to get more business. And finally, your costs, both time and money that's involved. This is something that's important. Bob Parsons, the CEO of GoDaddy, one of my favorite quotes says, "Everything that is measured will improve." Entrepreneurs have to measure their business. All right, so the 3 pillars of local search that we're going to talk about, learn about, and that you're going to want to focus on for your business are profiles, citations, and reviews. Now we're going to take a look at profiles initially and all the different profiles that are out there. So your business has profiles already on the internet. You may or may not have claimed them and own them. When you claim a listing, you own it and you can manage it. There's a free tool out there called getlisted.org. You can put in your business name and your zip code or your postal code and get a list of all the different profiles that exist out there for your business. Now, this free tool doesn't tell you all the different profiles that are out there. There could be 80 or 100. That's roughly where we work around. But I'm going to give you a list of a variety of different profiles that you can go and acquire in a moment. Now, when you're filling out these profiles, we call this on-the-page factors. There's elements that are very, very important. First off, when you're filling them out, they should be completely filled out 100% and be unique, not just copy and pasted from somebody else's. Now, one thing in marketing that is often highly missed, and especially missed in the internet marketing world, is a term called customer segmentation. And when we start to define our ideal customer and segment our audience, we're going to create different personas or avatars that exist out there, such as a chiropractor that's a pediatric chiropractor that deals with wellness. They're not going to go after people that have hurt they're not going to go after the laborer that has hurt his back. They want to go after children and provide wellness care. So their ideal customer is going to be, well, parents, because parents are the ones with the money that are spending on their children, and parents that have children, and parents that are involved and enjoy items like maybe wellness care or yoga or green juicing and whatnot. And so when you're filling out your profiles, this is the type of messaging that you should be creating on there. You want to create compelling descriptions for your specific brand. Now, having a physical address. A lot of you are running businesses out of your home. As a matter of fact, I've got my office. It's about 4 miles away from me right now, but I'm at home. I've got the ability to work from home. Now, I don't list my home as a part of my office, but do not use PO boxes or UPS addresses or hide your address. If you're a home-based business, show it. You've got to. That's what the search engines want to see, and they want you to have a physical address. Now, when I say establish your NAP, NAP stands for name, address, and phone number. You can see here in this example, I'm going to pull out my little trusty pen right here. I'm looking right here, and how we've got it written out, 647 North First Bank Drive. Well, the NAP is consistent, and on all the profiles that we're setting up, we're making it consistent, and we're writing out N for North. We're not writing out North. It doesn't matter which of the two you use. Just make sure you stay consistent with it. The same thing for First. I got different ways that I could write that out, but I've got to stay consistent with it. Uploading images and videos are also very important. We create 5 different videos for our small businesses, one of them being a testimonial video, another one being a walkthrough video. Create videos that are highly relevant. Use your smartphone. It's okay to use your smartphone. They've got pretty decent cameras in them. One of the biggest things with video is lighting. Make sure the place is really well lit, and audio. So don't talk unless you're close to the microphone. Categories is also something that's very important. To make sure you claim at least 5 different categories for your business related to the type of business that you're in. I'm going to talk about testimonials and reviews and how powerful they can be and how they can be utilized on your website and profiles. And I had mentioned earlier photo shoots. Absolutely do not upload stock images to your profiles. Have your own unique images that you take of outside your business or your vehicles or your people that are involved or a job site. Have at least 5 professional videos that are created. Now, when you do a get listed score and you get your score, if you're below 70%, you've got a lot of work to do. Okay? Anything above 90 means that you're in good shape. All right, so some of the things to avoid on your profiles, use local numbers, absolutely. Do not use tracking numbers. Do not use 800 numbers. Do not use PO boxes or UPS boxes or anything of that nature. Do not have multiple pages per location. Here's a little link that you can write down. Grab your pen and paper and write that down and go and visit that page. That's just a page that we've set up. As mentioned, do not use tracking numbers. And I can't emphasize how important it is having multiple pages for a single listing in a single business. Do not do that. All right, so here's a list of different data providers. I've broken it into 3 different categories. This is just a partial list. You don't need to write all this down right now. After the presentation, I'm going to send you guys a link where you can watch this again, as well as some links to download some different files that I'm going to talk about. And you definitely want to be listed on all the major search engines. You've got all the major data providers here. And again, these lists are probably 20 to 30 a piece. And then, of course, there's a long list of secondary data providers that can get well into the hundreds. but these are all the main ones right now, and these are the places that you want your business listed in. See, the search engines go and look for exposure and authority. The more exposed your business is in authoritative places like Dex Knows or Insider Pages or Yellow Pages, the more authority your business is going to be given. That's why profiles are very, very important. Now we're going to move into the second pillar called citations. If you've ever been involved in SEO before, you've heard about links. Links and citations are roughly the same thing. And a citation essentially is a web reference of your business. Before I get into that, I want to talk about a little bit of methodology here for ranking. And we say that qualified traffic plus conversion equals new customers. Well, qualified traffic, if you're getting people from India over and visiting your webpage, they're not qualified. Who cares? Unless you can service them, who cares? A lot of you can only service people within a 5-mile radius of your business, sometimes less, some a little bit more. But that's qualified traffic. Then number two, you've got to convert that traffic. And these are two major elements to it. You could have a really poor website that's out there that just ultimately doesn't convert. And getting your reviews and your testimonials and your services in the right spot is going to help conversion rates. So we've got to look at both of them. Now, what's interesting about search engine optimization, or SEO, and I think my industry is split about 90-10, that 90% of the individuals that are so-called SEO experts, in my personal opinion, have it all wrong. 10% have it right. Now, if we go to the American Marketing Association and get the definition of what marketing is, excuse me, I don't know it word for word, but I know the gist of their definition. And they basically say that marketing is the process of creating material that has value, that is distributed to an audience, such as customers, prospects, and an industry at large. Material that has high value. Well, search engine optimization is the exact same thing. We create marketing material that has real value to it, so not hiring somebody in India to write content for you at $2 an article. Somebody that knows your business, knows your customers, knows your geographical area, and distributes that content. So like if you were a plumber in Chicago and you wrote an article, and the Northwest Herald, that's one of the bigger newspapers in the Northwest Burbs, runs that article about how to prevent your pipes from freezing. That's a piece of marketing material that has authority and value to it. And it's got exposure on a relevant site, being the Northwest Herald. That's marketing, that's SEO. So we provide high quality, effective transparency and exposure of the business online. That's the process of ranking your business high. High quality, value added marketing material that's transparent, meaning that we're not afraid to open the doors to our business and expose that business in different areas where your audience is really going to be. So we don't chase the algorithm. What I mean by that, I know that when you take a keyword that a search engine looks for a keyword density of 5.6%. Well, most SEO marketers out there are going to go and create content that adheres to that 5.6%. In other words, you're creating material based off of your keywords. There's hundreds and hundreds of different factors that a search engine looks at. And I know them all. Well, not all of them, but I know a majority of them. And going and creating the environment online to satisfy the needs of the search engine is not the strategy to go. Why? Because look at the last 2 years. We've had different Google updates. There's actually 500 updates a year through Google. They only tell us about 12 of them per year. In the last 2 years, we've had 3 major updates called Panda and Penguin and Hummingbird. And each of those updates have hurt a lot of marketers out there. My clients, they haven't dropped in rankings because we're creating quality marketing material. We're just doing what businesses have been doing for decades and decades. We're just digitizing it. That's all. All right, my go-to webinar popped up here. Let's see if I'm having any problems. Ken Patterson saying, don't forget about UK data providers. I guess, Ken, you are from the UK. I'm going to show you guys different searches in a little bit on how to uncover and identify data providers in your area. I don't know why this software popped up, but hopefully I'm not having any problems. Everybody, we got quite a few more people on the line. Welcome, you latecomers. All right. So, I mean, the big secret in internet marketing is really providing that value to the end user. In other words, education on who you are and what you do. So with these citations, as I had mentioned, citations are web references. And they're a reference of your business, typically in the form of your NAP, your name, address, and phone number. Excuse me. And there's a variety of different places on the internet that we can get a whole bunch of citations. I'd already mentioned some of the data providers. There's public sources out there. There's location-based sites. There's theme-based sites. And of course, there's social media. Now, of these 5 different areas, we're going to take a look at all 5 of them. Well, we looked at data providers already. Those are your profiles. We're going to go look at some of the other ones right now. Public sources, that's typically for larger businesses. But we're going to go and take a look at some of them. And we're also going to look at the acquisition strategies to get these citations for small businesses. So I'm skipping over the public sources. But one thing that I want to make understood is if you're in the United States, at the very least, your business is going to be listed with your local county. And make sure that that listing that's on there is congruent with your NAP. If not, get it updated. All right, so location-based sites. These are different websites that exist on the internet that you're going to want to get your business exposed to. And there's local-based search engines. Well, they all crawl each other, and we can go and find those. And just do a search on Google for local search engines. Local-based search engines, and you will find and uncover a list of different search engines. Now, when Google gives you a list of searches, they also rank them. So on page 1 of your search, the number 1 listing is going to be the most authoritative listing. And you just work down your list. Local blogs. This is highly relevant, and you can see right here, that's a search phrase that you can go and put in your geomod, Chicago, or in my case, Crystal Lake or Algonquin, and blog. And Google's going to give you a list of all the local blogs that exist out there. Local focused directories, the same thing. You can do the same type of search, your geomod and directory. Chicago directories. That's going to give you a list of different directories that exist, and you want to go and get your business listed on those. So theme-based sites. I'm using the example of chiropractor during this one. Whether you're a dentist or a plumber or an electrician or a courier business, all of this still typically applies. But, for example, in the chiropractic industry or the courier industry, there are statewide associations and there are national associations. You want to get listed on those. They are focused on your topic and your keywords. There's small niche-based networking sites out there. Again, you're going to do a search for your themed keyword and directory, or your theme keyword and social networking site or social site, or your theme keyword and, let me get back to your blog. So with these different searches, you can find sites that are relevant for you to get listed on. Social media, another one aspect for citations that are really relevant. We know what social media really is. But social media, if you're ever going out to eat, they always say go eat at a busy restaurant because chances are they've got good food. Well, that's a good analogy to utilize on the internet. When businesses are being talked about, businesses have a community online, they appear to be a busy business, the search engines like that. They trust it. The busier the businesses on the internet, without going overkill or spammy, ultimately get a lot of exposure. So the more influence you have, the more trust you're going to get, and the more authority you're going to get on the internet. So effective marketing essentially is building that authority on the internet. Here's a list of different non-conventional citation ideas. Some of them may apply to your businesses, other ones wouldn't. When I say start hosting parties and events, well, when you do that, you can go and list your event on sites like meetup.com or your local chamber of commerce, and ultimately you get exposure. Your NAP gets exposed out there. This is great for chiropractors because they're in the education business, and they host a lot of different talks and whatnot. But that's a really good way to get citations. If you're in a strip mall, you get a red box in front of your office, because once you get a red box in there, they're going to go and list all the locations of different red boxes that exist, and these are easy ways to get citations. If you've got an old building, get your business registered with the National Registry of Historic Places, the NRHP. This is a government-based website. This is a highly authoritative, high-value citation to get if you can do that. Write a book is actually not that difficult if you're doing blog posts and whatnot to get out there. I've got a couple of published books. It's actually very, very easy. If you want to know how to do that, I'm more than happy to tell you. If you've got an office, the dentists that exist out there, the chiropractors, the massage therapists, offer free Wi-Fi and then get your business listed on free Wi-Fi sites. Sponsor local events. You know, let's say you go throw $50 over to the local college. Well, now you've got a .edu. You've got an education-based website that's displaying your NAP. Very good way to get citations. Sell online. This one's a little bit more difficult because selling online, opens up the whole door of e-commerce. But I've got a couple of chiropractic clients that are selling their nutritional supplements and whatnot online, and that ultimately gives you other exposure as you get in. When people come and check into your business, if you've got that type of business, you can encourage check-ins. That's giving you citations. Installing a weather monitoring station on the top of your building. Yeah, I know, it sounds odd, but now you're going to be listed on a variety of different government and education sites of having a weather station. They run about $1,000, but for the right business, it's very highly valuable. Oh, yeah, add a cellular antenna to your property. I'm not a big advocate of that one. It does give you exposure on the internet, but it's not very healthy. And a webcam. You can get listed on a variety of different websites by having a live stream of your office. All right. So now that we know what profiles are and we know what citations are, these are two of the three pillars. We're going to talk about different citation acquisition strategies. Among the ones I've already talked about for acquiring citations, here's additional ways to acquire more citations. The first one is go and look at your top competitor. Take your number one keyword, and who's ever ranking number one, go and figure out what their NAP is, their name, address, and phone number. Put that NAP into Google with quotation marks around it, and it's going to give you a list just like this right here. Of that list that you've got, these are citations that Google has found for your competitor and rank them. In this case, 1 to 50. I've got 50 citations for this local restaurant, ranked in order of authority. So if I don't have this citation for my business and my competitor does, guess what? I am going to go and get it. So competitive research is very, very important. And well, when I say here, I've got a course online called the Fundamentals of Marketing Principles. It's a free course. I'm going to give you my contact information if you want to get access to that free course. You can log in. It's got about 3 hours of education and whatnot, and it covers the marketing principles. Not what we're talking about here, but the fundamentals in marketing. And competitive research is a video on its own. So it's not just competitive research online. It discusses all the different components and all the stuff that they taught me in school. But search for your number one keyword, find your competitors, and go and look at their citations. Some of this is a little bit of a review that we've talked about already with local directories and publications to get citations. But if you're not a member of your local Chamber of Commerce, become a member. That's a highly authoritative citation, guys. My Chamber of Commerce here is 20 bucks a month. Just the price of spending 20 bucks a month is worth the citation in itself. All right. There's other local networking groups. There's a variety of ways to find local networking groups that exist. This is going to be, some of the old school ones like the Lions Club and whatnot, even Masons and items like that. If you're a part of local networking groups, but you can also go to meetup.com and find a variety of different networking groups, and that's an area to get your business ranked. When you become a member of the chamber, you take the Chamber of Commerce logo, you put it to your website, and you link back to the chamber, to your profile page. What that does is that gives the search engine indication that it's further strength that you're a part of it. You promote them, they promote you. It's a good reciprocal relationship. Chamber of Commerce are high authority sites. All right, let's move on. I'm a little bit behind on schedule here. Joint venture. Identifying businesses that serve similar audiences to yours. So, again, chiropractors, joint ventures with massage therapists, acupuncturists. Have your business listed on their site, list your business on your site. Really good way to get other exposure out there. You can think about your business, and there's a variety of different ways. Courier businesses. List yourself on trucking companies. List yourself on freight forwarders sites and find these. I know you've got friends in the industry. Volunteer opportunities, if you're currently a volunteer, or donation opportunities. These are, I mentioned some of that already. And take a look at your audience profiles. Remember I talked about customer segmentation, how important it is in marketing? Well, in that free marketing course I'm talking about, I have a video dedicated solely to customer segmentation. During that, you create audience profiles. Go and look at your 5 different audience profiles. And where would they be doing business with? Those are joint venture opportunities. Theme-related citations. We had an introduction to this. We talked a little about some of the ways to acquire that. If you did a search for chiropractic directories, you're going to find ACA, the American Chiropractic Association, for example. But you never want to pay anybody for a link. I want to make this very clear. That's a violation of their terms and conditions. You get caught with it, it's a nightmare. Just don't pay anybody to list your website for the purpose of a reference. I mean, if it's a directory and it's a value-added directory, sometimes it's worth it, like Yahoo, for example. I did go through some of this already. Just kind of a review of looking at some niche-based or industry associations, different membership sites, different online social sites, and different forums. So again, take your theme keyword, courier, and do a search for courier social sites, courier forums. Social media, there's a variety of different social media that's out there. Yeah, okay, it's easy for me to say to create viral content. We all have different definitions of what viral is. But as an example, when my son was born, he was a breech baby. What breech means is he was lying sideways. And the medical doctors gave us two options, either a C-section or an external version. An external version is where a nurse will massage the belly and try to forcefully turn the baby around. And apparently that's more painful than birth itself for the mom. The other option was cutting her open. We learned about a technique called the Webster's technique. Dr. Larry Webster devised a chiropractic technique. And essentially the theory is when you've got a breech baby, the uteral section is too constricted to allow the baby to turn head first to be born vaginally. And this chiropractic technique essentially loosens the bones in that area and opens it up and allows the baby to turn. They've got a success rate of 90%. And so we learned about this. We went to our chiropractor, walked in and said, we need this technique. He'd never heard another patient ever say that. In his 12 years of practicing, he had only performed it twice. He performed it, and guess what? It worked. We went back in to the nurse with the medical doctor, and the nurse was flabbergasted. She freaked out. She says, I've never seen anything like this before. The medical doctors have got to hear about this. Everybody's got to hear about this. I'm in the wrong profession. I can't believe this. I can't believe they wanted to cut you up. And how come we're never taught this? And blah, 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 blah. She saw the evidence in the x-rays. The point is it's a good story, all right? We create a video of that story. Guess what? That video goes viral within the chiropractic community because it's such a good story. It's not that hard to create viral content. If you're a courier business, I deal with a lot of different courier companies, and your guys' business is measured in seconds. Well, you make people happy. You've gotten people out of binds before. You've made people's businesses great. Hopefully, you're creating case studies on all of those. Guess what? That's really good viral content. Dentists, you make people, they hate you, but you make people happy when they walk out. I apologize about saying they hate you. We just know that that's a general consensus of dentists. I'm going to talk about QR codes in a little bit. Wikipedia pages as well. You can go ahead and create Wikipedia pages for your industry. All right. Now, I'm going to move on to the third pillar now, reviews and testimonials and check-ins. And first off, we're going to take a look at, when we go through these different slides, reviews are very, very important. So we're going to learn about the difference of the benefits of reviews and what quantity versus quality really means, and how to establish authority on your profile and what that means to establish authority. We're going to look at the different ranking factors. I get often told, Scott, I know I've got 15 reviews, but Yelp is only showing 9 of them. Why? Well, this comes down to review filters and perhaps the review creation of the individual. I'm going to uncover and discuss some of that. And then we're going to learn about different acquisition strategies. What is a rich snippet? And how do we get reviews on our website so the search engines can see these reviews or testimonials on our website and give us credit for it? How do we do that? And then social check-ins, which is not nearly as important as reviews or testimonials. And then we're going to take a look at review sites as well, of different review sites that exist out there. And finally, managing your business reputation online. I've got a slide that's going to cover and talk about that. So here's a quick list, just an example of different websites that exist out there that allow for reviews. This is definitely not all of them, but this is some of the bigger ones that have relevancy. These are all sites that your business is probably currently listed on. I'm just going to go take a check to see if we've got any questions or problems. No, seems to be good. Everybody's still on the line. That's what I like to see. And you know, with this software here, I have something called, on my dashboard, I can see how many of you are attentive, which means how many of you have this presentation up on your desktop right now. So if you don't have it up and you're listening to me, get it up on your desktop. It's going to change the attentive rate, but I'm sitting at 82%, so that's pretty good. All right, so some of the reviews of benefits here. They affect three different things. They affect your ranking. Reviews affect your rankings. More importantly, remember the internet marketing equation, qualified traffic plus conversion equals new customers? Well, reviews help your conversion. Good reviews help your conversion, so we want to influence that. And this one here is not something that you're going to hear about. Reviews establish your service area. Now, what I mean by service area, let's use a chiropractor in Manhattan and Idaho. All right? A chiropractor in Manhattan, everybody lives up. They don't live out. So somebody may travel 2 miles to come and visit you. But if they're 5 miles away, chances are in Manhattan, they're not going to travel 5 miles in Manhattan to come and visit a chiropractor. But where I live, they will. Or Idaho, it may be a 10-mile radius. So your service area, the search engines look at your service area and are going to show potential customers your results based on your service area. You can influence your service area and grow your service area because your service area is defined by where your customers reside, whether you go to them or they come to you. This is just something that I pulled from a Google page. Nowhere ever on Google's page have I ever seen anything that says this specifically affects your ranking. Well, in this case, there's a lot of people in the SEO community that say that reviews do not affect ranking. They only affect conversion. Well, this is bogus. Google explicitly says that reviews influence your ranking. Now, I'm going to talk about and give you guys access to my review acquisition strategy. This is a document that's got all the tools that you put into your business today, and it allows you to, well, you'll see how it works. You can download it and implement it. Now, when I say quantity versus quality, this is one of those few times that quantity does matter a lot, as much, if not more, than the quality of your reviews. Quality is obviously important, but Yelp says that 85% of reviews are 3 stars or more. So in a review, there's different components that we need to know about and understand. Is that a reviewer has a profile. They leave a review. They're no longer do anonymous reviews exist. So with that profile, different profiles, for example, can have different authority. You know, if I go and I create an account on Yelp today and go and leave a review for your business today and never go and touch that account again, I'm not going to have a lot of trust in that profile. That review is likely going to be filtered out. But if I'm somebody and I leave review for 100 different courier companies, I'm still not going to be trusted. I don't deal with 100 courier companies. The search engines know this. But if I'm a reviewer and I go and leave reviews for 15 different local businesses in my area on an organic pattern, you know, one every couple of weeks over the course of a year, my profile is going to have a lot of trust and a lot of influence. So these are some of the things that the review sites look at to filter out reviews. We as a marketing firm go and identify our customers that have high authority on the internet and encourage them to leave reviews. Rich snippets, for example. Let's say somebody sends you a handwritten letter. It's not online, but you want the search engines to identify that, hey, people are learning about you and they like you. Well, you can scan that image, put it on your website, take the HTML code, which is an HTML markup. We utilize the rich snippet called hreview, Wrap the hreview HTML code around that image, and that tells the search engines that this is a review, or even the written out handwritten reviews to digitize it and get them on the internet. I had mentioned my review acquisition strategy. You're going to get that, and then of course websites. Here's a stat that I had already shared with you, that 85% of all reviews on Yelp are 3 stars or more. So users with a lower average score ultimately have a lot less trust. In other words, if my profile, if I'm out there, even if I'm reviewing and most of my reviews are 1 and 2 stars, who cares? Don't worry about it as a business owner. That review is eventually going to get filtered out. What we want to do is encourage our customers to establish profile authority. The more we can educate our customers to go and utilize the review system, the more authority they're going to have. And if they've left us a positive review, the more likelihood those positive reviews are going to show up in the search engines. You get that? That's an important understanding. It's your job to continually to educate your customers and give them the tools to leave the reviews. We're going to take a look at some of the tools in a moment. But there are ways that you can drive this education to build profile authority for your customers. The number one way to drive education, again, is my review acquisition strategy. I know I've talked about it. I'm gonna get into it in a moment and teach you what we do to drive education. If you're not collecting email addresses of your customers, start now. It's free marketing. The more email addresses you collect, it's free marketing. Some of you have come on the line because I was advertising in Facebook. Every single person that clicked on that little ad of mine, I paid $1. So I measure how many people click on it to how many people sign up to how many people come to this webinar. By the time it's all said and done, I'm paying 40 or 50 bucks a head. But once they're on my list, I can continue to market. Some of you have come to me because you're on my email marketing list. You haven't left my email marketing list because I try my best to give you value. I'm not just constantly selling on. As a matter of fact, I don't sell on email marketing. We provide value, and I try to earn the right to business. So email marketing is critical, and it's a good strategy, a good way to continually to educate your customers of the review process. A blog. If you don't have a blog, you need one. You need to be putting up content on your blog, at least 1 new post a month. That's for SEO purposes, by the way. But again, it's a good way to educate. On different sites and forums that exist out there, geo and theme sites. So when you do all of your searches for your geographical and theme sites that we talk about, some of them are forums and some of them are social sites. You can discuss profile authority and get your NAP up on there on geo and theme sites. But your goal is to drive the education. And if you don't, at this point in time, consumers aren't encouraged to leave reviews. Testimonials now. Testimonials are a little bit different than reviews. Testimonials could be somebody that just walks up to you and says, "Hey, thank you. Thanks for making my teeth whiter. I like it." But we want to take that and get our prospective customers to see testimonials. If you do not have a testimonial video, get one made. It's easy. You just need a smartphone. Don't have 3 and 4 minutes of one person talking. You really only want to hear one person for 10 or 15 seconds. But you want 4, 5, or 6 people in that testimonial video to be a 2-minute video. Video is better because of right here. There are 3 ways to influence human behavior. Every salesperson should know these things. Those 3 ways are the words we say, the tone that we use, and I can't draw, the tonality, and then our physiology. So if I say to you guys, I want to go to the store, or I want to go to the store, I said two different things just by changing my tone. Two exact opposite things. I used the same words, but I changed it. Am I more convincing to you that I want to go to the store when I say, I want to go to the store? Well, that's because I have my tonality. And then finally, with your visual, you got your greatest weight. Here are the weights, and this is from a very well-known study. We can influence behavior a lot stronger with visual. That's why video of people that are giving testimonials are so powerful. When you're getting, when you get a customer to leave a testimonial for you, you've got to coach them. They're going to be nervous. Most people get nervous behind a camera at any point in time. And all you really want them to do is talk naturally. Just get them to talk, and then you're going to pick out some of the best spots of that testimonial. One thing that's important is I say address objections. Like a chiropractor. I don't want to go to a chiropractor because once you start going, you got to keep going. Well, yeah. But ask your customers to address that. Make it positive. Yeah, you know what? I started coming to the chiropractor, and I don't want to stop. Every time I go, I just feel better. It's kind of like brushing my teeth. Well, you've overcome a sales objection in the form of a testimonial video. And remember, guys, this presentation is all about ranking on the search engines. I'm talking about stuff here that has nothing to do with a lot of people's eyes of ranking on the search engines. But once you've created this video, remember, video is a really important piece to have on one of the three pillars of profiles. I also want to point out, encourage specifics when you coach these people. Talk about symptoms. Talk about how you've made their life better. You focus on the benefits that your service or your product has provided your customer. You know the benefits, not the features of it, not the advantages of your service, but the benefits. In the case of a courier business, I know one of my clients was the CEO of Patron Tequila. He had to get his suit delivered from Las Vegas to San Francisco in 8 hours. Guess what? He forgot it there. We did it. That company loved us. So a good testimonial. Can you imagine the CEO of Patron giving us a testimonial saying, these guys saved me? I'm going to fly through some of this stuff here. When to ask a customer if they want to do it, when the customer is on a high about your service. You've done something very good for them, that's when you want to ask them to do a testimonial. You really want to ask them in person if possible, but it's okay by other means as well. You really don't need much of an incentive. I assure you, people like the idea of going on camera. They're just scared of it. I had already gone through this stuff here. This is just a review to, when you're getting your testimonials and whatnot, focus on specifics. Energy, make it real. Just have them be honest. That's what comes through. You can sniff out a fake testimonial pretty easily. And then address your objections. Whoops. All right, let's move on. Now, I talked about rich snippets a little bit, all right? That's wrapping certain information to put it on your own website, not on profile sites. You can put, different ratings and whatnot. You can also tell the search engines what the ratings are. And essentially, this shows up in the search engines. If you want to learn about how and get the HTML markup, so I mean, you may have a testimonial that somebody wrote to you. You may have current testimonials with a picture of that person on your page already. Make sure it's wrapped with this HTML markup language. Just go to Google and do a Google search for Google Rich Snippets to find the code. You're going to find microdata or RDF type of code. I stick with microdata. They're just HTML tags that you wrap around, and it's pretty easy. If you don't know that, get your web developer to do it. It's pretty straightforward. All right, so now we're going to talk about different strategies on how to get more reviews for your business. This is my review acquisition strategy right here. Guys, give me one quick second here. I'm just going to mute myself. I'm kind of embarrassed, but I'm also a human being, right? I just got to blow my nose here. I know you don't want to hear me. Ah, that's a little bit better. Oh, I can breathe a little bit. It's like one of those things when you prepare for a presentation, you got to do as much as you can to prepare for it. Go to the washrooms, get your drink ready, make sure your computer's all running properly and restarted, and the internet's good. And but I can't plan for that one. So this is the review acquisition strategy. You can go ahead and download it, and what it's going to do is it's going to give you an overview of all the different reviews, what are reviews, where to get reviews, the value of the reviews that are out there, all the different sites, and the implications of the reviews to the search engines, basically covering a lot of the stuff that I covered already today, good versus bad reviews. This is something that you're going to want to give your staff, especially your front desk people or people that listen in on the phone. We've got to train them that it's going to be regular occurrence, that when they hear with their ear, they hear somebody say something good about your business, boom, the review acquisition strategy process kicks in. I'm going to show you that process and encourage your customers to leave reviews. So this review acquisition strategy also includes a customer email template that when somebody says, hey, thanks for making my teeth white. Oh, thank you, Mr. Patient. Would you mind sharing that information online? Yeah, I can do that. How do I do that? I'll tell you what, just give me your email address and I'm going to send you an email and it's going to give you all the instructions on how to do it. Boom, guess what? You've collected your customer's email address. You can market to them for free and you're going to get them to leave a review. Another strategy is this one right here. Oh, thank you for whitening my teeth. I'm really, really happy. Oh, that's awesome, Mr. Patient. I'll tell you what, do you mind leaving us a review? You can leave it right on your smartphone that you have in your hand right now. Oh, well, that's kind of cool. So what we do, guys, is we'll create a postcard. Here's the front of a postcard that we've created for one of my clients. When they say thank you for the positive service, this postcard, the front desk person hands this postcard to them. On the back of the postcard, and I can see here that this is an old image that I just realized I should have had the newer images that we've been doing. On the back of the postcard is it gives instructions. Go visit this website. Click the write a review button. If you're not signed into Google, which you might be, and you leave a review, it just gives them instructions to a piece of paper. We also install a QR code on here. If you don't know what a QR code is those little square barcodes that you can scan with your phone. And it takes you directly to the review site, and they can leave a review right on site, right on their smartphone. Whatever you do, do not get them to leave a review on your computer network at the office. On their own home network or on their smartphone only. And, you've seen this slide already, but just here's a list of different review sites as well. I'm going to fly through this, but I talked about different review filters, and this is getting reviews that are filtered out. And remember that it's an algorithmic process. Nobody manually does it. Nobody goes and deletes reviews, and reviews are never deleted. They're only filtered out. Okay, keep that in mind. So the best way to get reviews is, as I mentioned earlier, is word of mouth, and that's the best type of advertisement. We want to keep it as organic as possible. Don't go out and solicit reviews unless somebody has told you that they're happy with your service. It's actually a violation of the terms and conditions if you solicit reviews. If you just start asking all your customers, no, that is wrong. You are going to get hurt. It is going to get caught up to you. I assure you of that. Do not solicit reviews. Right? Moving on. All right. So I am actually going to give you the link for that review acquisition strategy right now. I apologize. I thought it was in my, I'm going to send it through GoToWebinar, guys. What I'm going to do is just in the questions box, I'm going to send the link to everybody right now, and you can download it, okay? Also, for those that are listening to the recording of this, or even those that are on the line right now, this is going to be posted on my website in a couple of days, and on that page that's posted on, there's also going to be the download links for that review acquisition strategy and a couple of other things. So now, if you're a chiropractor, you've got some decisions to make. If you're a dentist, if you're a courier owner, if you're a small business owner, I've been through this presentation and you've got some decisions. And in order to, you've got some interest, obviously, in getting your business listed #1 on Google. You can do this yourself or empower one of your employees to do this. If you would like, I'm not going to share the link for this. I'm not here to sell my membership program. But you can get in, and we've got a full systematic process on how to train people and how to do this completely themselves. There's over 60 hours of training and you get access to my membership group. Typically, most small businesses, we're going to guide them to anywhere from 12 to 15 hours worth of the training. So in 12 to 15 hours, you can really learn all of this, get all the tools and all the resources to do this yourself. Or you can hire an agency to do this. Obviously, as you already know, I am an agency, and I would love to be able to earn the right to your business. But I do encourage you that no matter who you go after and who you're going to hire or look at, always look at least 3 different providers. You're going to hear different messages. My industry is not regulated. That's why you want to do homework upon who I am, how I run my businesses, and how my clients are. Look at my testimonial videos and whatnot. Or, of course, you can just do nothing. There's cost and implications to all 3 of them. You don't do anything, well, you're leaving money on the table as a business. You hire an agency, well, you're going to spend money. You better get a return on investment. You do it yourself, you're going to spend time that you could have been spending elsewhere. So once you make that choice, you can do some stuff. And regardless of any of those 3 choices, I've got resources for you that are ultimately free to further educate yourself and help you decide which of the 3 are best for you. Now, on that note, I got a little bit of a video here that I want you to listen to. It's only about 2 minutes long, so just bear with me as we get through this.
Hi, I'm Dan Conatee from Brooks Courier Service, located in Wilmington, Delaware. And I wanted to say a few words about Scott Gallagher, who we met here at the MCAA several years ago. Scott provided us with nice marketing materials that we're able to hand out to potential customers that have very nice graphics and so forth. So we've been very pleased with the service that we have received.
Hello, my name's Larry Schwartz. I'm president of Barron Messenger Service. out of sunny South Florida. We recently did search engine optimization with Scott Gallagher, and it got us to the #2 spot in less than 6 months.
Hi, my name is Mark Spencer from Wireless Consulting in New York. I've been working with Scott Gallagher, who's offered us some incredible insight and some awesome internet marketing strategies that really helped our company.
What I liked about Scott was real solid principles for an ongoing business.
I've had the course in my hands physically for about 2 weeks, and already I've booked 2 clients from just using the information in Module 1.
I had 5 clients, and that allowed me to quit my job.
I was able to go out and get my first client within the first few weeks.
Hi, my name's Rob Johnstone. I'm with Priority Express Courier in Philadelphia and Edison, New Jersey. We realized that we need a little more direct impact and get in front of customers more consistently, and that's what Scott's really helped us with our emailing, blast efforts, and helping optimize our website so that now we're popping up #1. It's been a good relationship.
My name is Stephen Nesbitt, and I am the Sales Director for Complete Innovations out of Toronto, Ontario. Scott helped us achieve #1 ranking for the most competitive keyword on Google. He's the man.
All right, so you heard some of those are some of my clients that we've done work with through the agency, and some of my students that have bought into my program. Of course, we've got quite a few more testimonials if you're ever interested in hearing or learning about them. And this is just a typical video that we could, we'd ultimately make for you. So one thing that's important is when you're hiring an agency, obviously, is to get results. And I'm gonna give you an offer, as a no-charge offer, to do a full analysis on your business. There's 0 cost to it, 0 obligations. We're gonna give you different reports. I'm gonna talk about that in a moment. But before I do, if you were to potentially hire us to do the work, you want to get expected results. I'm gonna give you an example here of a chiropractic firm, and how we would look at that. We've determined the average patient value. Well, that comes from ACA, the American Chiropractic Association. And they say the average patient value is $1,200 a year, and that if they're to hire us, they've got to get a return on investment. In other words, chiropractors' margins are anywhere from 40 to 70% profit margins. I know it's pretty high. Courier industry, you saw a lot of my courier clients on there. Their margins are between 3 and 10%. So we've got to know these items. And, if they're going to spend money with us, they can't just get that back into sales. They've got to get that back in profit, and not just a break-even profit, a positive return on investment. So we look at those numbers. If you do not have a positive return on investment with your company within 90 days, fire them, period. And I'm telling you right now, if you're not listed in the top 3 spots, you're not going to get a positive return on investment. Like, I'm a Canadian, and when Canada went to the final gold medal game a couple of days ago, the Canadians felt like that if they got a silver medal, they have failed. The only success that they would have achieved is the #1 spot. Then they're successful. I'm the same way with my ranking. If you're not #1, we have failed. In the chiropractic industry, we get, we're getting our chiropractors anywhere from 2 to 5 new customers a week. Well, you know what adjustments cost, revenues, profit margins. That's definitely going to give you a return on investment. But it does take time to get #1 in Google, depending on the situation. If it's any longer than 6 months, you better fire the individual. If you're not in the top 3 within 3 months, fire them as well. So as you can see, as you go through some of my process here, you can see we're not an SEO company. We're a marketing company, and we create value. I mean, that testimonial video, that's something that we would create for you, and there's a lot of value in that. You give that to your sales staff and whatnot, and it helps out, but it also helps with SEO. So some of the things that you're going to receive from your agency, among many other things, that we're going to create in content are video. We're going to do local public relations. We're going to get you listed in the local newspapers and get you some exposure out there. That's old school marketing right there. A system to collect a whole bunch of good positive reviews. Improve conversion on the website. If we're driving traffic to your website, but your website sucks and is not converting, we're going to want to make those changes as a part of the service to help increase your sales. You're going to get a social media channel. We're not social media experts. You're not hiring us to be sole social media experts, but we've got to have that engagement in all the social media channels. So we have weekly engagement with your audience and increase your audience aspects. Whoops. And then, we're going to increase, in the case of a chiropractor, increase your patient retention or customer retention and increase your customer satisfaction. All right, so what to do now? You've got my book here. I've got a book called Internet Marketing for Chiropractors. That's a published book. I've also got another book that's Internet Marketing for Small Businesses. The reason why you hear me talk about chiropractors a little bit, guys, is positioning. I deal with small businesses all day. I've got dozens, hundreds actually, of different small business websites that we can demonstrate that we've done good for and have gotten reviews. I'm just passionate about chiropractors. It's affected my life, as I told you about my Webster's Technique story. It's very good. My sister's a chiropractor. My daughter used to have nosebleeds every week after getting adjusted. They've stopped. But what are some of the things you should do right now? Is number one, stay on my email list for continued education that you're going to get. All right? Spam is defined by 4 different things. One of those things is if I don't offer you one click to get off my list or unsubscribe, it's spam. Well, we definitely use software that manages all that. So if you don't like me, get off my list. But sign up for my free online assessment and analysis. That's what this is about. And you can join the membership program too to learn some stuff in-house. But I'm going to go through what the online assessment is right now. There's the website, okay? I'm going to send this website to all of you right now. So you now have the link in your GoToWebinar box. You can click on that and go and sign up for our online analysis. And what you're going to get with the online analysis are a variety of different reports, and we're going to take a look at some of the things that I talked about today. So I've broken the analysis into 2 pieces, the 2 pieces of the internet marketing equation: driving qualified traffic and converting that traffic. All right, so while we're looking at driving qualified traffic, the first thing that we're going to do for you is keyword research. Remember, you haven't hired us at this point in time. This is something that we're going to do for free for your business, of course, with the right to earn your business. We want to earn the right to your business. And when we do have a new client that comes on, we do give them 100% exclusivity. So if you're a chiropractor and your service area is 5 miles, we'll never go get another chiropractor. If you're a courier company and you happen to be working in Chicago, you're going to have exclusivity to Chicago. I'm not going to take on another courier client in Chicago. Period. But you're going to get keyword research. You're going to get a list of all your keywords. You're going to get a list of all the problems on your website. This is a full report, about a 22-page report. Now, I run it through software. This is automated. Keyword research is a manual process that my guys do. This is an automated process that we do. But it costs me $11 every time I run a report through the software that I use. But we'll do it for you for free. We're going to give you a competitive analysis report. Remember I told you that was a way to acquire citations? We're going to show you a list of citations that you can go and acquire that are on your competitors. And then, of course, specific steps. I'm giving you the foundation here. Yes, I know people are going to put me through the ringer and then go and give this to their guy. Well, maybe your guy wants to join my membership program. My membership program is only $97 a month. There's no contract. Once you're in, you get all the training. Remember I said there's 15 hours of training that you're probably going to have to take? And then on the converting analysis, we're going to do audience group analysis. This is customer segmentation. We're going to give you a list of tips and suggestions to improve conversion. And then finally, create a system for you of online reputation management. Sign up right here, guys. bit.ly/marketing analysis for your small business. We'll do this stuff for you. You're going to give me a little bit of time to get this stuff together. We'll contact you and whatnot, or email me directly. We work on a first come, first serve basis. And I have, like I said, single client exclusivity. We will not take a competitor in your area. And I have failed if my company does not get you number one. That's the job, to give you a positive return on investment. In other words, the money that you pay into it, you better be making that profit back out, or you fire me and give me a negative review. All right? So this is the end of my presentation. I'm going to ask if anybody's got any questions, and let me know what you thought. Anybody that's, I still have a really good attendance. Thanks, guys, for sticking through my sales pitch. I really hope that you got value in the presentation. How long have we gone here? Yeah, I'm going over my time now. But I hope that you've gotten value from this and learned something. So I'm going to open the floor to any questions. I don't have anybody that has their hand up. I've still got a high attention rate. And most of you have not dropped off at this point. Well, 22% of you have. There now some people are leaving. I guess those are the people that have already signed up. But if we have any more questions, looks like Richard's got something here. He's asking, do we get more value with Yahoo or Bing than with Google? Richard, by the way, guys, anybody that's on the line is, I believe this is Richard, that's a current student of mine. He's a small business owner out in the California area. So he's building his business. He's a relatively new startup, and he's asking, do we get more value with Yahoo or Bing than with Google? I'm not really sure I understand what you mean. Do you get more value from Yahoo or Bing than with Google? I mean, Google's got 80% market share. So if you're listed number one in Bing and Yahoo, but not listed number one in Google, which is actually the case of a brand new client of mine, no, you're not getting any value. You've got to be listed on Google. I mean, that's the important one. If you're not number one in Google. Jesse here is asking, what's the link to rewatch? I practice what I preach, guys. You're on my email list. I've properly tagged you, so everybody that's on my list that has watched this, if you've watched it, you're going to get an email saying thanks for watching. For all of those that missed it, is going to get a thanks for, no, not a thanks for missing. By the way, you missed this. And then everybody that's registered is going to get a link to watch the review or the recording. You got to give me a couple of days to do that. There's some stuff that needs to be done. We got to actually create the video and render it, upload it, put it on a page and all that stuff, and send out the email. Mike says, thanks, very, very informative as always. That's great. Richard's asking again and clarifying, more bang for your buck, more clicks per dollar spent. Well, Richard, you're talking about paid advertising now. There's organic and there's paid search marketing. I am not a paid marketing expert. I'm organic. Now, it doesn't mean that I can't talk about paid. Yeah, you do get more bang for your buck through Bing and Yahoo through the paid channels because a lot more advertisers are on Google. But I've used all three systems before, and I don't know what's going on with Bing. I am not happy with their ads. It's very, you have less control on the broad matches and the exact matches. But I'm finding tremendous success right now of targeting specific ads in Facebook. Don't forget about Facebook. And you can highly, highly, highly target ads. In your case, Richard, you can identify, show me everybody in Facebook that lives within 10 miles of my school that does not have English as their first language. I recall some of your demographics that you've discussed. You could target them and then create ads that specifically advertise to them. Drive them to a landing page on your school. Have them opt in for a free report or a free video. Opt in meaning give me your email address. And then create a 6-week lesson in an autoresponder on an email that follows up with that audience, that continually drives them to sign up to come in for a free class. That's your biggest goal, is to get them to come in for a free class. There's your nugget for the day. Rob, what does a high converting local business landing page look like? Good question, Rob. Really good question. First off, let me say a couple of things about conversion. The only true way to understand what works better than another is testing. But small businesses typically do not have enough traffic. We've come up with a list of best practices for these pages. Now, the second thing I want to cover before I talk about what it looks like and whatnot is your audience. Every business is going to be a little bit different. And when you understand the objectives of that business, that will help you clarify your audience and what your audience ultimately is looking for. When we start to look at, I do weekly podcasts. Last week's podcast had discussions about the factors that consumers look for on a local business website. And they're looking for things like, what time are you open? Directions to your place, your phone number, prices, the services that you offer. So of those 5 elements that I discussed right there, anybody that lands on your website, you make that information extremely readily available. Your phone number, as an example. Consumers are trained to have your phone number on the top right-hand side of your website. Have that in your header, big, all the time, up there in text format, not image format. That's a big factor. And when we talk about conversion, we've got to talk about call to actions. What are we trying to get our prospects to do on our website? Are we getting them to sign up to our list? Or do we want them to call? Do we want them to come in? Well, every business is a little bit different. But once you clarify the objective, that's the one thing that whole website should do. So if it's having to pick up the phone call and call, make sure your phone number is prevalent all over the place. If they're driving into your location, don't have on your contact us page, don't just have your address. Install Google Maps and give them driving directions, the ability to put their current location and boom, right there on their page. So they don't have to go elsewhere. These are conversions. So yeah, I could show you a website. I could show you multiple websites that are high converting websites, but they're specifically exclusive to that business. These are things we're going to talk about if you get a marketing analysis done by us. You're welcome, Richard. So, like, I guess I could show you. Now you're getting to read. That's a buddy of mine. I guess he couldn't get on my webinar. For tomorrow, not today. Oh, darn it, I gave him the wrong link. I have another webinar tomorrow. Let me show you a couple of sites here. So it's just a keyword. I'm not looking for a specific business, but this is a client of mine that ranks number one organic, and there. And here's the look. So what we talk about is below the fold. Below the fold is where I got to scroll down, and there's certain information that you want to be relevant. You know, your phone number right up the top, right somewhere, nice and big. Place an order. People want to place orders. Customers are coming here. The services that they offer right here on high real estate. The images that we're creating and we're flowing through are overcoming their objections. It's a messaging that we create that overcome their objections. Testimonials are relatively high. Okay? So I hope that helps. Where did my GoToWebinar software go? There it is. I lost you guys for a second. All right. Well, I guess if I don't have any more questions, let's see if I got somebody that's got their hand up at all. Nobody ever likes to come on the line and talk. Oh, Rob's got one more. Is link-worthy, Rob says, is link-worthy content helpful to local SERPs? All right. A SERP, guys, search engine results page. Rob is asking, is link-worthy content helpful to local search engine results page? I've got to clarify and understand what Rob is asking here. I think what he's asking is link-worthy content helpful to be linking to our local profiles, or is it helpful to get rankings? I'll answer both of them. First off, I know that Rob knows a little bit about SEO here because he says link-worthy content. Link-worthy content is one of those red flag words for me. I can tell that Rob has got education from some SEOers out there that talk about items like content marketing is the new big thing. Well, that's bullshit. Content marketing has been around in marketing avenues forever. If you didn't do that in 2006 in SEO, guess what? You probably got hurt by the algorithm. What is link-worthy content? It's a buzz term in the SEO community. Link-worthy content is really marketing material that has value for its consumers and prospects. Stuff that we've been talking about in marketing for decades. So, Rob is basically asking, is value-added marketing content, is it helpful to link that stuff to our website? And does it help in our rankings? Well, as long as you fully understand what real link-worthy content really is, the answer is yes. But that does not mean that you go to a PR8 website and have them link to your website. Most people in the SEO community are going to tell you, if you have a PR8 website linking to you, that's link-worthy content. That's a great link to have. No, it's not. Trust me. You've got to have exposure on websites where your customers reside and where your audience resides in the local sense of it. Rob, I hope I didn't really insult or demean anything by saying, where you got some of your education. I know I'm making speculation here, but I've been in this game long enough to understand what's happening here. Wentley, okay, he's clarifying. What type of backlinks? Again, backlinks is another one of those buzz terms. That's what this presentation was about. For local businesses, you want to look at theme-related places, and you want to look at local places. Whether you get a citation or a link, don't get hung up on it, okay? If you're not going to be able to have a citation and you're only going to be able to have a link on a theme-related site, that's great. But those are the types of backlinks that are helpful to local businesses. Wentley is asking, how do we all this information to acquire clients? How do we... I don't understand what you're asking, Wentley. How do you what with this information to acquire clients? You either want to get on the line, I can unmute you, or if you want to type in a little bit of clarity, what do you mean by how do we all this information to acquire clients? How do we use this info? I know I threw a lot out there, okay? This is high level stuff. This is not a full step-by-step strategy. On my email marketing list, understand my objectives here, Wentley, I'm in business to make a profit. And I make a profit by delivering a value-added service that I get paid for, that I can afford to pay my people. I make a profit, and my clients are happy. I've got two businesses. One, we do this for customers. We get them number one. We give them exclusivity. That's not a cheap service. Two, I have another business that I teach it. What I went over today is probably about 15 hours worth of training material that I could spend. I know it's overwhelming. In my membership program, it's $97 a month. Cancel at any time. I give the full step-by-steps on how to do all of this and how to put it together. 3, you can take your time and stay on my list. Watch this video over again. It's going to make more sense. The biggest thing that I teach my students is you've got to take action. Once you start acquiring 1 and 2 profiles, you get it. You know what you need to do. It all starts, the light bulb starts to go on. When you're on my list, I think 6 weeks from now, it's time that you're going to get some of the how-to material. So you can hang in there and grab some of that as well. Then I do go over it in remedial senses, and you do get links to other videos and content. But most importantly is I'd hang tight and I'd watch this webinar one more time and start to take action. The first thing I would do is look at all three profiles, all three pillars, which are profiles, citations, and reviews, and work in that order. Go to getlisted.org. I showed that slide in the initial for your profiles. And go and claim and make sure you own all the profiles that Get Listed shows you. Then go and find more and work a couple hours a week, a couple hours a day just to get that done. It takes time. When a client hires us, we spend about 20 hours a month as a minimum. 20 hours a month to 100 hours a month per client to get them exposed. That's from 2 to 20 hours a week. Our clients, we spend a minimum of 2 hours a week on, a minimum, creating content and distributing it to get this exposure. But remember, it's all about return on investment, and if you don't have that, you've got the wrong team. Bill, thanks, Scott. Sent you an email since I was having trouble with the marketing analysis link. I wonder if I'm having problems with my site. I did check all this at the beginning of the presentation. There, it seems to load at this end. There's where the link goes to. I got a 68-second video that just goes over the analysis. Here's the things that you're going to get for the analysis, and then this is where you sign up. And you hit the save button. So, sorry you were having trouble. But thanks for sending me an email. I recognize your name. Bill Carlson. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this, guys. Thanks for sticking around. How many of you have stuck around? 73% of you. Nice. See, I look at those numbers, and that tells me the type of content that I delivered for this presentation. If I have a low attention rate and a low attendance rate and a bunch of people jump off, I haven't done a good job. So I hope that that's in alignment with how you guys feel. But you've stuck around this long, so I hope that you've gotten value. All right, one last check. Any more questions? Wentley just says, great, thanks. No more questions. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.